Hello. Today for my first theory competency video, I'm going to be talking about Chapter 9, the uncertainty reduction theory. My name is Mitchell Johnson. I'm a senior graduating this summer. And so the main theorist behind this is Charles Berger, a professor of communication from the University of California. Um, I want to start this off by talking about a couple of quotes in the textbook that he has discussed. The first one says that it's natural to have doubts about our ability to predict the outcome of initial encounters. This is important to understand in this theory because it kind of shows that whenever you first meet somebody, you're going to have doubts and uncertainties, and you're going to want to use these things to get over these uncertainties. The second one that he says is that the main purpose in talking to people is to make sense out of our interpersonal world. So we want to talk to people to be able to understand what's going on in our world and better understand what could happen in the future. And like I said, an important thing to understand is that every new relationship is going to start with uncertainty, just because you're not familiar with the person and you don't know really how the encounter is going to play out. Another theorist that's important in this chapter is Fritz Hinders. And his attribution theory says that the systematic explanation of how people draw inferences about characters of other is based on observed behaviors. So how you understand other people is going to be done by observing their behavior, and whenever you do that, you'll learn more about them. In Berger's uncertainty reduction, the increased knowledge of what kind of person another is provides improved forecast of how a future interaction will turn out, and that's very important for this theory. So we're going to go through the axiomatic theory that Berger proposes, and it's a theory of axioms to explain the connection between uncertainty and the 8 key variables of relationship development. So the first axiom is going to be verbal communication. With a high level of uncertainty on the first encounter, there's going to be, with an increase of verbal communication, there will be a decreased level of uncertainty. As the uncertainty decreases, the verbal communication will increase. So the second axiom is nonverbal warmth. So as nonverbal expressiveness increases, your uncertainty is going to decrease. So the more you become open nonverbally, the uncertainty in the conversation will decrease. The third one is information seeking. So with high levels of uncertainty, there's going to be increased information seeking behavior, because you want to be able to find out this information to make yourself more comfortable, as well as the other parties involved. The fourth axiom is self-disclosure. So if there is a low level of uncertainty, there's going to be a high level of intimacy between these two people. The fifth one is reciprocatory. With a high uncertainty level, it's going to be a high reciprocatory level as well. The sixth axiom is similarity. So if there's a high level of similarities between the two people, the uncertainty level will decrease. Number 7 is liking. So as the uncertainty decreases, the liking will increase. And then the 8th is shared network. So if there's a shared network, a shared communication network, there will be a decrease in uncertainty. So if you have the same friends that another person does, or you work in the same place, know the same people, you're going to have a decreased level of uncertainty in those communications. And then the last thing I want to talk about in this chapter is the methods of coping with uncertainty. So there are 3 methods that that are talked about in this chapter: passive, active, and interactive. So with passive, you're going to be viewing another person, how they communicate with somebody else, observing their behavior, and making inferences from that. With active, you're going to actively go out and ask a third party about this person, and gain ideas from them. And then with interactive, the last one, you're going to actually have a face-to-face conversation with this person, um, and gain your own ideas about them. I personally think that interactive is the best way of coping with uncertainty, because you're not um, solely basing your ideas off of what other people think about them, or um, how another interaction went with someone. You're able to gain your own ideas um, about this person. And with that, there are definitely a lot of different things that can happen in these conversations to increase and decrease uncertainty. But if you go through and you're able to understand um, what goes into developing a relationship with someone, you can definitely reduce the uncertainty in any interaction.